Welcome, Leo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your fourth quarter, that's October, November, and December reading for the end of 2023. I have laid out the one deck of cards, the African Tarot. I will clarify with the intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, and I will finish off with a couple of oracle cards. Welcome to those of you that are new and to those of you that are familiar with me. I will not be doing an extended for this reading, although that is a new practice of mine. And if you find yourself resonating with this reading, finding it enjoyable in some way or other, please share this video with others who might find it useful or entertaining, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all of those that donate, give, and support me in whatever way you do. Let's get started, Leo, with your overall energy for the fourth quarter, the Emperor card. This is a beautiful card of understanding what you can control and what you cannot. And as a result of that, understanding that you are in absolute control of your own resources, actions, behaviors, and words. As a result of this, you understand that by making those improvements in your own life, in your own environment, in your own personhood, developing yourself is what creates the change that you want to see in the world. And this is quite probably the most important aspect of the Emperor card at this time. So gaining this sense of command and ownership of your life and your actions is really giving you the sense of where you begin and where you end, and that nobody is in control of what you do, your reactions, your responses, but you. And you react, you respond, you move forward based on what is best for you. This is a beautiful card of that gaining control over your life that really allows you to move forward on the basis of what is aligned for your own best, highest good. In October, the Fool. The Fool is really centering a theme of the month of October, where there are the final month of the eclipse season. This is Taurus, Scorpio eclipses and some powerful trines that are going on. These are beneficial aspects with major outer planets, when most of the planets, particularly all of the outer planets, have been and are still in retrograde motion. This reflects your deep work, the deep work that you have been able to do with the Emperor card, the control you've gained over yourself, your resources, and this trust that you now have because you trust your own process. You trust your own ability to do what's right. You also trust the universe. You have faith that moving on a new adventure, you are prepared. You only need your memories, the memories of your experiences, the lessons learned along the way, to empower you to take a risk, to move into the unfamiliar, and to know and trust that whatever obstacles come up for you you will be able to turn those into building blocks. Leading up to this energy of the Fool is the Ace of Wands, and this is really emphasizing that you've started off in a new direction. This doesn't mean that October 1st you started something new. Moreover, this means you probably, as is the case particularly with the major arcana cards, is that you have placed your experiences, placed your understanding, your commitment to move into a new direction, to be newly inspired, that is being supported by this greater sense of self-control. This may have given you the courage, the changes you've made, the understanding of where your control begins and ends may have given you the inspiration to move in this new direction, to pursue a new lifestyle, the courage to do so. And the Queen of Swords is indicating that out of this, you have been able to use your desire to pursue the truth, your truth, in a way that allows you to be curious about not only your experiences, but to challenge your assumptions about the experiences you've had, the way perhaps you've understood your experiences in the past as one way. You now see that many of the things you assumed had to be done, you assumed were what others expected, may not have been as it appeared at that time. You're now curious and more interested in discovering the truth of your experience and that of others that you are affected by you and that you impact.
So I just realized that I didn't have my microphone on. I'm going to hope that the first part of this was clear and that my microphone doesn't die before the end. I'll check it after this reading, but forgive me if hopefully the clarity, you can hear me better now. So in November, we have the Queen of Cups. And the November, to me, is showing a time when you are in your emotional strength. You have built your courage from a place of your heart space. You have allowed yourself to be emotionally filled with the wisdom that you've gained from the lessons, this long period of gaining control over yourself and your resources has allowed you now in November to relax into how you've grown, how you've expanded emotionally, how you've learned to wisely open your heart and receive the things that you have earned, that you are deserving of. The Emperor represents a lot of pushing forward, the Fool as well, this courage to move into a new, perhaps risky direction. And the Queen of Cups is a place where you have absorbed the lesson. You can relax into understanding that as you assert yourself, you're also building from that place of emotional contentment, joy, balance, and this empathy and compassion that you have for others as a result of the challenges you've overcome. Leading up to, in November, to the Queen of Cups is this rebirth opportunity. And this rebirth, again, the major arcana are about the Emperor, the Death card, the Fool are about experiences that you are having over many days, months, years, even decades, depending on where you are in your life and what this pertains to for you. So you have been experiencing a rebirth. And the Ace of Wands talks about the visible side of that rebirth is a new beginning. But the rebirth more fundamentally talks about the deeper experience that generates this new birth, this willingness to try something new. And that is this deep release of your past, the past that doesn't serve you, letting go of relationships and experiences that you that you have experienced as failures or disappointments, understanding that you did the best with the knowledge you have, and with the knowledge you now have and have been gaining, you recognize a more positive, more aligned way forward. And this release actually, and this can also accompany physical loss. There may be people or resources that have changed, shifted, or been lost. You may have lost a job, a home. You may have shifted. You may have been required to change things in your material experience, and that may have impacted relationships or made the benefits of those relationships clearer, so that you were empowered to release what didn't work for you. But you're releasing this with love, with compassion, primarily for yourself. And this is key in all of this. You cannot take control, ownership of your experience if you're not forgiving of the things when you weren't in as much control, when you weren't as aligned. Towards the end of November, the Nine of Wands shows you persevering along this new path, putting your all into it, trying and doing everything, recognizing how hard you have tried, not simply now, but in the past, to get something right, to do something in a way that really is fueled by your inspirations, fueled by your truth, fueled by your passions, so that you may be exhausted, you may be battled, you may be stressed from overwork, but you have not given up. You know that your victory is within sight. It's around the corner. You're very close. In December, the Six of Swords is really giving you that time, I think, consistent with the winter moss holidays, the closing of the year, where you are happily moving towards solutions to many of the challenges that you have overcome, many of the changes you're seeking to make, many of the ways that you may have released that weren't working for you, that environment where you weren't heard or you weren't seen. You're moving away from that. You're solving problems. You're getting to a place not only of solution, but also of acceptance of the lessons you've learned, the knowledge you've gained, and that there is a necessity to those challenges in a way that will be improving your experience. The Knight of Swords is showing where you're at the beginning of December, and this is really feeling like a bit of a rest, a bit of a forward movement, a bit of a surrender, but it's not a passive surrender. It is instead your understanding that you can document, you can explore and discover new aspects of your truth. You may be called on to record what you've learned. You may be journaling, diarying, keeping some kind of record of your experience and the way in which these experiences, those assumptions you'd made about the kind of control others seem to have over your life, the things other people made you do or required you to do, or the expectation of others, that you now understand that you must continue to explore what that meant. And as you are stepping away from the assumptions and the expectations of others, that you are now discovering new aspects and curious about new aspects of the experience that you would like to have, the way in which you're empowered to move to greater solutions, a new environment, perhaps a healthier, more accepting environment, a place of recognition for you. Towards the end of the year, the Hermit card, and I see a beautiful progression from taking hold of who you are, setting out on a new path, and then gradually really processing and allowing yourself to heal and express that sense of inward questing for the answers that are appropriate to you. In a way, I see the Hermit card and the Emperor as forming a lovely trajectory, a story, a narrative of taking control and then supporting that control that you're taking by looking into those experiences, what you've learned, as part of shoring up your individual authority. This is you verifying for yourself along the way, at every step along the way, that you are your own boss, that ideas, permission, the things that you manifest come from your own experience. I'm going to clarify the Fool card in October with the Justice card, and the Warrior of Pentacles. In October, your sense of striking out in a new direction, in a new risky adventure, perhaps, is the sense that this is what you are owed. This is what balances out your experience in the long haul. You may be more empowered. This journey may be towards seeking redress, balance, and fairness for experiences you've had in the past that you never felt the ability to claim what was owed to you, what you now understand you're deserving of. The Warrior of Pentacles is verifying your own ability to be resourceful, your openness to new ways of doing things, to pursuing new kinds of perhaps material experiences, understanding that you, again, are in control of resources in a way that others can learn from, that you are modeling for others, your children, your teammates, whoever are part of your environment. The Queen of Cups in November is being clarified by the Wayfarer, which is the Lover's card, and the Three of Swords. I am seeing some relationship lessons here, as all experiences, all of our growth impacts our relationships. But the sense of empowerment, the sense of having greater control is affecting the choices that you're making. You are moving away from things, particularly superficial gratification that you may have sought through relationships in the past, and understanding that you are gaining control of your own resources means that you're now discriminately able to choose things that are going to be for your long-term benefit. And part of this wisdom, this ability to discriminate, to in some ways adult, to grow up as we review our relationship history, is understanding that the lessons you've learned were there on purpose. They're actually gifts. They were necessary for you to get to where you're going, for you to get to this place of personal empowerment and authority. The Six of Swords in December is clarified by the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Cups. In December, your movement towards more peaceful waters, towards acceptance and a solution, a better environment, is fueled by this vision that you've gained. The Ace of Swords is a vision and inspiration that brings you clarity, enlightenment, greater knowledge of your truth, the ability to live by your truth, to detach yourself from the powerful emotions and connections, bonds you have with your relationships. The Eight of Cups is really recognizing that you're seeking a greater challenge, perhaps a greater challenge than what has been offered to you in your life to date. And certainly, if this is family or co-workers, friends, whatever these bonds are, you have grown through these relationships and grown up to recognize you're capable of more. You're pursuing more that has meaning to you, may not have the same meaning to others, but this is empowering you to go out there and find your own happiness, your own significance in the world. Leo, I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards and ask if you have enjoyed this reading. Again, to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And again, I appreciate lovingly all the support that you have and do give me. So the first is a crystal oracle. I love crystal oracles. And the crystal you pulled was chrysoprase. Allow yourself to receive. I love that. There's so much outward energy, but so much of a need to receive the benefits as well as the lessons of your efforts. And finally, Soul's Journey Oracle. And I pulled two, but I'm going to take the one on top. which is health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Until next time, Leo, namaste.